Hi, boys and girls. I'm the reading teacher, and today we get to read a biography. A biography is a book about a person's life. We get to learn about where this person was born and who their parents are, where they went to school, and what they're known for or what their achievement is. If they were not such a good person, we get to hear about their downfall. Why in the world would an author write a book about another person? Did you say to inform us or give us information? You're right. And a lot of times we get to use that information for our own benefit. Like the person that we're going to read about today. Her name is Nadia Comaneci, and she's an Olympic gymnast. And there's something about her life that I'm hoping that we can take away and apply it to our own and become better for it. While I'm reading today, see if you can figure out what it is about Nadia Comaneci that made her so great. Here we go. Nadia, the girl who couldn't sit still. In the village of Oneste, Romania, a country rich with forests and mountains, there lived a girl who couldn't sit still. She loved soccer, swimming, playing with dolls, and climbing trees. But she didn't just climb trees. She swung from branch to branch until her family would call her home. Nadia! Nadia Comaneci was a feisty and fearless little girl. Once she got in trouble for trying on a pair of roller skates in a store and skating right out of the building. Another time, she couldn't wait for her father to tighten the screws on her new bicycle, and it fell apart as she rode away. And one year, she climbed up the Christmas tree to eat the candies dangling from the top and ended up underneath the fallen tree. Nadia, why on earth do you spend all your time climbing trees? Her grandmother asked her. Nadia answered simply, because they are here to be climbed. To find a place for all that energy, Nadia's mother signed her up for gymnastics lessons. When Nadia stepped into the gym, she felt a little overwhelmed by the big space and strange equipment, but she also saw plenty of room to jump, swing, and run. At school recess, Nadia and her friend loved to cartwheel their way around the playground. A gymnastics coach named Bella Caroli spotted them. Bella and his wife Marta asked the girls to join their new gymnastics school. Nadia's parents agreed. 6-year-old Nadia liked math and science classes at the new school, but she loved gymnastics best. Bella and Marta taught her how to do a straight cartwheel on a line painted on the floor, then on a low balance beam surrounded by cushions, and finally on the high balance beam. Nadia practiced all her skills until she mastered them and moved on to learning more difficult moves. Soon, Nadia was flying from bar to bar, from floor to vault, and high above the beam. When she was 9, Nadia traveled with Bella's team to her first National Junior Championship competition. After so much hard work and practice, Nadia had perfected her routines. But when she did a leap on the beam, Nadia fell. Angry and embarrassed, she tried again and fell again. With her ears burning, she tried a third time and fell for the third time. Nadia finished in 13th place. Disappointed but determined, Nadia continued to practice for many hours each day. And at the next National Junior Championship Games, she won first place. Nadia kept improving and competing, practicing and perfecting until she reached the highest competition, the Olympic Games. In Montreal, Canada, the best gymnasts from all over the world, including the Russian gold medalists from the previous Olympics, Olga Korbut and Lydia Tersheva, were ready to compete. Judges scored each athlete's performance on a rating system from 1, a terrible score, to 10, a perfect score. You all know what to do, Bella instructed his team. Remember what we practiced and make yourselves and your country proud. Then, over the loudspeaker, now entering the arena for the 1976 Olympic Games, the Romanian team. On the first day of the competition, Nadia's team performed on the beam, floor, and vault. Nadia scored a 9.9, 9.75, and 9.7 on these events. Next, the Romanians took their turn at the bars, where Olga had scored a 9.9. Nadia mounted the bars. Now 14 years old, she was a long way from the forests in Romania, but she swung around as easily as she had jumped from branch to branch as a little girl. The audience gasped as she twirled and whipped and flipped. Nadia finished her routine by soaring through the air and landing perfectly on the mat below. The crowd exploded with applause. After a long wait, the scoreboard flashed a number, 1.00, a terrible score. Now wait a minute, we just heard that the audience exploded in applause and that she soared through the air and landed perfectly. A score of 1 does not make much sense here, does it? Nadia looked at Bella. Bella looked at the judges. The crowd watched in confused silence. What is Nadia's score? Bella asked. One of the officials held up 10 fingers as a voice announced over the loudspeaker, "Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time in Olympic history, Nadia Comaneci has received the score of a perfect 10. The scoreboard had been programmed with only enough space to go as high as 9.99 because no male or female gymnast had ever received a 10. Nadia turned to Bella. "Is that really a 10? "You bet it is, Nadia," Bella smiled, and the audience went wild, clapping and cheering. But the competition was not over, so Nadia moved on to her next event. And her next perfect 10. Again and again, Nadia's scores were perfect. When the competition ended, she had earned 7 perfect 10s. At the medal ceremonies, Olga and Lyudmila congratulated the new Olympic champion. Nadia won 5 Olympic medals, 3 gold, 1 silver, and 1 bronze, and became the youngest Olympic gold medalist in gymnastics ever. Reporters surrounded Nadia with questions. One asked her how it felt having the world's attention. "I feel just the same as before," she answered. One asked her if she'd been confident she would win. "Yes, I was sure," Nadia said. And one reporter asked her when she would retire. "Retire?" she replied. "I'm 14 years old." When Nadia returned home, thousands of cheering Romanians, including the president of Romania, greeted her and her teammates. Now famous around the world, Nadia went back to Onesti, back to her family, her school, and her gym, where she could fly from bar to bar, from floor to vault, and high above the beam. Even with all her achievements and medals, she continued to practice and aim for perfection. After all, Nadia was a girl who wouldn't sit still. And then at the end of this book, it tells a little bit more about Nadia's life, and it gives a timeline of when she was born, when she started with her coaches, pretty much up until just a few years ago. So, boys and girls, what do you think is something that we could take away from reading this book about Nadia's life, something that we could use and apply to our own life to make us better people. What I was thinking was way back in the beginning when she first started training and she went to her first competition. It says, after so much hard work and patience, Nadia had perfected her routines, but she did a leap on the beam and she fell. Angry and embarrassed, she tried again and fell. With her ears burning, she tried a third time and fell for the third time. Nadia finished in 13th place. So if the story ended there and she decided to quit, this would have been a much different book, wouldn't it? Actually, this wouldn't even be a book. We wouldn't need to know about a girl who quit gymnastics because she failed once. She didn't quit. She kept working and practicing and perfecting her routines. A lot of years and hard work and practice and time away from her family went into her winning the Olympics. It did not come easily to her. And that's something that I need to think about too when I'm working on something and something doesn't come very easily to me. I don't need to be perfect at it. I don't need a perfect 10 like Nadia, but if I really, really work hard at it, I want to see that a little bit of success from it. And that motivates me to work even harder. I hope you got to take something positive away from Nadia's life. And I hope this encourages you to go to the library and pick up another biography and read about someone else who is interesting to you. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoy this beautiful day and come read with me again soon. Hey, if you haven't yet subscribed, see if you can subscribe or like our page. I hope you have a good one, friends.